Yo, yo, yo. We are back again. This time we're going to go ahead and do another deep dive into the couple life of Sejun and Zoe. So last video we discussed the would-be couple, Nadine and Jin-young, and today we're going to go ahead and discuss a couple that actually chose each other in Singles Inferno, Sejun and Zoe, and all the little rumors and little Instagram lives that we saw shortly after the end of the season premiere. So let's go ahead and first look back into Singles Inferno season 2. How did those two end up together? So Sejun started in Singles Inferno season 2 in episode 6. So obviously he missed like half the show. So he came in much later, the second wave of new people. And by then everyone had already kind of, quote unquote, hooked up with someone else already. So it was very tough to kind of get your footing in the door. And the only person, well, I wouldn't say the only person, well, Sejong was also available, but we're going to talk about her a little bit later too. But Zoe pretty much was on the rebound at the time, and she was kind of looking for a new man. So I think she kind of sought out Sejun for one of two reasons. One, she needed to get over Youngjae, like ASAP. And when you're in Singles Inferno and not going to Paradise, you're kind of just stuck there, forced to kind of like live through this heartache. So Zoe, even being an actress like she is, it's very tough for her to kind of keep the facade on forever. So I think she kind of sought out Sejun to get over Youngjae and also maybe find new love at the same time, right? Because no one was really going after Sejun either. He was very quiet, so he was someone that she felt she can gravitate towards and kind of, at least at the end of the day, be a friend for. So she ended up going to Paradise with Sejun, and they had a great time together. There was a very lovely pool scene where they got to know each other. There's a lot of rumors saying that those two actually ended up kissing on the show. And you know the Singles Inferno rule, there's no touching really aside from maybe the occasional tap on the shoulder or like the occasional holding hands maybe at the very end if you guys both chose each other. So the show itself is very, very, very against love, physical love, that is. So they weren't going to show kissing, even if there was. But there's some speculation that there was a little bit of kissing involved, which is not a bad thing, you guys. So fast forward a little bit later, towards the end, you see Zoe kind of talk to Youngjae as they said goodbye. Youngjae kind of giving her the courtesy handshake, and you can kind of see her kind of have this glance at him, like she was still kind of stuck on him, which I kind of felt sorry for her because she hadn't fully gotten over him yet. And then Sejun comes a little bit later and picks her, and they end up leaving the island together as a couple, quote unquote. We think people leave the island as a couple, but we never really know, right? Because there's so many people that have left the island holding hands. Even people who have more romantic chemistry than those two, and they end up not working shortly after. So you never know the motive, and you don't know how much of it could be potentially scripted in a way to kind of add drama. In the first two seasons, we never saw anyone reject anyone. None of the women ever rejected a guy for picking her when there's no other option, right? So those two end up being together, and then the rumors came. So I want to say like shortly after the last episode came out, there was a little bit of rumor, which I don't know if it's really a rumor, if it actually happened. But Park Sejong posted on Instagram with a picture of her wearing a jacket that Sejun owns. I think it was like this blue blazer type looking jacket. And if you recall, Zoe also did the same thing. Remember when she came back from Paradise with Sejun, she was wearing that nice checkered looking kind of, looks like it belongs on a couch jacket, and she had that on. And then Sejong posted another picture of her wearing a jacket herself, and that got the community roaring because obviously everyone loves the Zoe Sejun relationship, and I think it pressured Sejong to actually delete the photo from her Instagram, which was a little unfortunate because I feel like everyone should be able to post whatever, and she might have insinuated something as well in the photo. She commented how the directors kind of edited a lot of the show, and maybe that was kind of her being a little bit upset that she didn't get a lot of screen time. And this also could be because whatever screen time she would have had, it would have actually taken away from the relationship, like emotions of what actually happened with the other couples. So maybe that's why directors cut out a bunch of her scenes, and maybe she was involved with Jin Young a lot. When we learned in that Nadine Jin Young interview that he actually picked her as being the funnest, and I was surprised because I didn't really see those two interact at all, aside from maybe one conversation. So maybe there was a lot more going on that the directors didn't let us know about there. And then with Sejun, maybe more of it happened as well. I went back and watched all the scenes where Sejong and Sejun were in together, and I didn't see anything that would even show any jealousy or any emotional connection between those two. I didn't even see those two really talk to each other. There was one point where they were in the tent and they asked Sejun, it was Soku who asked Sejun, you know, is the person that you like the same one as the one that you initially had some feelings for at the start? And he said, yeah, and that's Zoe. And he was sitting next to Sejong when that happened. So I don't think he would be that open unless the whole Sejun thing happened after that episode 8 when they had that discussion in the tent. I don't know. So I don't know exactly when the jacket thing showed up. So it was very odd. If anything, I think that would be a good night for the jacket thing to happen because Sohee was not around. She was in paradise with Hanbin. So maybe it happened after they were in the circle together. But I also have a tough time believing that those two, even Sohee and Sejong, would have any beef, because you saw how close they were and how much Sejong helped Zoe out throughout the entire season. So I can't imagine her actively pursuing Sejun if she felt Zoe really cared much about him. And then the second rumor was, not really rumor once again, all this is facts. I guess I'll say rumor. So Sejun got on Instagram Live like 5 days ago or so, and he was referring to Zoe as kind of his sibling, like little sister, that he wanted to protect her because there's obviously a lot of fan interaction and a lot of people saying stuff about Zoe and Sejun, whether they're going to work out or not. And he pretty much just flat out told everyone that, you know, he sees her kind of like a sister and someone like he wants to protect, which I get that symbolically. But a lot of people also interpret that as him saying that they're no longer together, that they're kind of just friends, and instead of friend zone, they called it sibling zone or something like that, sister zone. Yeah, so a lot of people kind of speculating that those two already kind of broke up, which in my opinion, I didn't really feel the love between those two. I feel like they were more like friends, maybe more like siblings at the end. Because there was a mass age difference, even though Zoe did mention to Jongwoo and Youngjae, remember when they had that date after Zoe won that chicken fight challenge, the very first challenge of the season, and she picked those two, and she said Youngjae was more of her type because he gave off kind of like an older feel, while Jongwoo gave her more like a feel like as if she was talking to someone her own age. So you can tell that she definitely is into older men, and Sejun definitely kind of looks like someone who might be even older than he actually is, while Zoe might actually feel or look like someone who is younger than what she actually is. And her and Youngjae had a 10-year difference. I forget how old Sejun is, but he does strike me as someone that's probably in his 30s, I want to say, like maybe Jintae age. So so you would think that she would be interested in him, but I just never felt the chemistry, and maybe because she was still kind of hard stuck on Youngjae at the time. So that's what it is, yeah. So poor Sejun, poor Zoe. They might not end up being a couple for long if they already haven't broken up yet. But I'm sure both of them will find love very soon because both of them are obviously very popular, easygoing, very nice people to talk to and have a good time with. So we never know, and maybe that Park Sejong Sejun thing might happen now with Zoe's blessing, because I do believe that Sejong would not go after Sejun, especially with all the drama that and backlash that happened after she posted that one photo. So just give you guys an update on Zoe and Sejun. That's what went down. I don't know for sure if they're gonna work out or not, but let me know in the comment section if you guys think they will. Do you think those two belong together as well? I'll be very curious to know what you guys think. And if you guys enjoy this type of Singles Inferno videos, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're trying to hit an unbelievable goal of 100 subscribers by the end of the year. So we're in February now, so clock is ticking. So thank you so much, you guys, for stopping on by, and I'll catch you guys all next time. Take care.
왜 이리 삐걱대는 건지 이런 알 수 없는 마음 뭔지 잘하다가도 멈칫거리는 떨리는 내가 보일런지 두근거려 심장이
What are you doing, step bro?